Is a program that was always meant to be temporary. It's a program that is put in place, and I believe for Somalia over 30 years ago, and will need to be evaluated to make sure that it comes and is always implemented in the process for which it was intended.
The Trump administration has abruptly ended protections from deportation, known as temporary protected status, for all illegal immigrants in the United States from Somalia, who have been covered under the government program, according to the Department of Homeland Security. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem decided that allowing Somali nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is contrary to our national interests, according to a statement given to the Washington Examiner, giving Somalis in the TPS program 2 months warning before Immigration and Customs Enforcement could show up looking for them. Somalis will now have until March 17th to leave the United States. Somali immigrants have been accused of orchestrating a successful billion-dollar fraud ring that siphons large sums of money from the U.S. government intended for statewide charities in Minnesota. Republicans in the Trump administration are pushing for the denaturalization of any immigrant-turned-citizen who is found to have stolen U.S. tax dollars and fraudulently obtained Minnesota welfare funds. Roughly 2,400 illegal immigrants from Somalia are protected from deportation under TPS, including 600 residing in Minnesota.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos, guys. The Trump administration, like you have seen, has decided to end TPS for Somali nationals living in the United States, guys. To understand why, you first need to know what TPS really is, just in case you don't know. Now, briefly, it's not citizenship, it's not green card, it's not even a permanent legal status, right? It's just a temporary emergency protection meant to be used only when a country is facing extreme conditions like maybe war, natural disasters, or total humanitarian collapse. Now, the idea behind it is very simple. If it's too dangerous to send people back to their country, the United States allows them to stay and work legally until things improve. And Somalia received this TPS in 1991 during the Civil War. And at that time, their country had no stable government, famine, widespread violence, constant displacement, and their TPS was renewed year after year, right? Not because Somalia became safe, but because it was never stabilized. And now the Trump administration is saying that this is the thing. TPS now, as that was temporary, has turned permanent, and they are claiming that the TPS has been abused over the years by renewing it over and over again, even when conditions have improved in Somalia. Now, according to them, the TPS was never designed to last 30 years, right? Renewing it again and again, according to them, breaks the law's original purpose. Now, they say Somalia today is not Somalia of yesterday, it's not Somalia of 1990s, and they're saying that they now have a recognized government, they have international support and funding, so they are safe to return to their country. And the law does not require a country to be safe, right? It only requires that the country is not facing extraordinary and temporary danger anymore, which Somalia seems to be fine now, guys. In their words, they say conditions have improved, right? So Somalis can go back to their country, guys. And another thing is immigration enforcement philosophy, because the Trump administration believes that humanitarian programs like TPS have been stretched far beyond their limits. And they say that some people use TPS, as a way to stay in the US indefinitely without going through the normal immigration process, and that this service has been abused over and over again, and so Somalis have to go back to their countries. But guys, we all know the underlying issue why Somalis are on the chopping block. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you soon.
Look at this post. This is what clear leadership looks like. The Trump administration is ending temporary protected status for Somalis in the United States. And here's the key part people keep ignoring. They're being given a choice. No chaos, no surprise raids, no confusion. You can leave on your own or the government will enforce the law. That's it. That's how a sovereign country is supposed to operate. Listen, it's simple. Temporary means temporary. It was never meant to be permanent residency. And pretending otherwise is exactly how we ended up with this broken system to begin with. This isn't anti-immigrant. It's pro-law, pro-order, and pro-America. Every country on earth enforces its borders. The United States is not evil for finally doing the same. And for anyone screaming about cruelty, this is actually the most humane option possible. Notice, time, and a chance to leave voluntarily. This is what leadership looks like, and this is why the people voted for Donald Trump. He gets things done and doesn't apologize for it. Have a great day, Patriots.
I don't know if y'all heard, but Trump just ended TPS for Somalis. They got till March 17th to figure it out, y'all. They could either self-deport, which Trump always encouraged because it comes with incentives. I could only imagine how much 1,000 USD could take you in Somalia. You could probably buy a couple of goats. I don't know what they buy out there, but yeah, I know spaghetti and bananas. That's an infinite spaghetti and banana glitch, you know. But 3,900, about 3,900 of them is impacted by this decision. Yeah, 2,500 with the status, that's going to end. And then there were like maybe 1,400 applications pending, which will be voided because it doesn't make sense to end TPS, but then think about the pending applications, right? Oh, this is the good news. According to the administration, conditions have improved in Somalia. So that's good for Somalia, of course, the country and the people. So conditions have improved. And Kristi Noem stated that temporary being the key word, temporary status. So yeah, they're going through with this March 17th. You either could self-deport and get all the incentives that come with self-deportation, or DHS will help you March 17th to figure it out for yourself if you can't make that decision for yourself.
So things just got worse for Somalians and the Trump administration, and Somali nationals are now fearing for deportation. Trump just announced that the Department of Homeland Security is ending temporary protected status for Somalians in the United States, and they must leave the US by March 17th. This comes after Trump posted earlier telling Minnesotans that all ICE wants to do is remove illegal immigrants from their state, and that Minnesota Democrats love the unrest that anarchists and professional agitators are causing because it gets the spotlight off of the $19 billion that was stolen by really bad and deranged people. Trump then ends it with, "Fear not, great people of Minnesota, the day of reckoning and retribution is coming." Then right after, DHS posted on X, "One-way ticket, DHS is ending temporary protected status for Somalians in the United States. Our message is clear. Go back to your own country or we'll send you back ourselves." Then Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responds with, "Trump admits that this is nothing but political retribution. Minnesota voted against him 3 times and now he's punishing us, putting lives at risk and wasting enormous resources in the process." Now, DHS and many conservatives support the deportation because of the spotlight on the Minnesota fraud and how the majority of fraud happening in Minnesota is being caused by Somalians. They also pointed out that temporary protected status is only temporary, hence why temporary is in the name, while the other side says it is just wrong to deport anyone.
Guys, since this announcement, sympathy has just disappeared online because the reaction of the public is just wild. A lot of people are not experiencing pity at all, and they are believing that all these reasons, one way or the other, is tied to these fraud allegations, and they are saying that this decision is well deserved, talking about the daycare fraud, the food program fraud, the welfare related scandals, and all these things. And they're saying that this outcome should not surprise anybody because in their view, right, the government has tolerated too much for too long, right? And on social media, the comment section is just too blunt because people say that when you keep hearing about millions of dollars being stolen from programs meant for children, disabled, poor, the sympathy just disappears. Like, these were taxpayer-funded programs. And when abuse happens on a large scale, guys, trust is just broken. And many people do admit that although not every Somali was involved, but they then add that their communities, were responsible for this. And even though some of these individuals did not personally commit this fraud, they still benefited from the system that was abused around them. Oh my goodness, this is so complicated. And according to a lot of people, they are like, when fraud becomes a pattern and not just a one-off case. The government has the right to shut down things completely. And when this TPS, just ended, they are like, why exactly should we feel sorry for them? Because the US gave protection for decades, right? Allowed people to work, to build lives, and this is what they get in return. And they're like, they stand with the Trump administration that this is not cruelty, it's just accountability, and that the system cannot separate everyone cleanly, right? Immigration policies say, they say that it does not work on an emotional case by case basis. It works on broad rules, and if fraud investigations have repeatedly centered around one group in one state, they believe that the government is justified in reassessing these protections tied to that group, even if innocent people are affected, guys. But the Trump administration is giving, they give different reasons why this TPS is ending. According to them, they say Somalia is now fine, Somalis can go back to their country and all of that, guys. But I feel that the underlining, what triggered this whole thing to just, come out fast is because of all these allegations, guys. Do you believe so too? Let me know in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!